Zoom. Sheesh. I did it. Thank you guys. So literally the only difference is I just had to do it from my phone instead of my PC. Gotcha. So this works more like TikTok live. Makes sense. Not the good luck. See, I don't mind getting haters. They don't faze me, to be honest. They don't bother me not one bit. I need to get this. Turn that on. No! And there goes my light. Guys, that definitely broke. That definitely broke. Dang, Flabbit. Well, that sucks. There goes the ring light. Hopefully you can still see me. Haters, I have this friend whose channel I moderate. They were live before I came to your stream, and there was a bunch of haters, and I kept timing them out. How do moderators work? Like, what is it? I don't understand. I always hear people talk about moderators on TikTok, and people will offer to do it for me, but I'm just like, eh. I normally don't get a big enough audience to where it's not necessary. I'm just gonna turn my brightness up on my computer and do it that way. Add Bluetooth. There we go. You can mod us if you want, and we can time out and block people at whim. Basically, the moderators can time out if it's necessary, like if someone calling you a woman or something. Okay, I see. So pretty much you guys can control if people get like kicked out and stuff, if they're being annoying and I can't keep up. Okay. Well, if we ever get to that point, like if the more I go live, I'd imagine that the audience will get bigger, more people will pop in here. If we ever did get to that point, I'll definitely add some of you guys if it's necessary. There we go. Oh, that's not gonna work. It's too dead. I actually like going on live better on my phone. Plus, then I can actually go live like in my car and stuff. Yeah, guys, like the stream. That'll probably help. These lives can draw large crowds sometimes. I think the most I've gotten on TikTok, like when I went live, was probably like, it was super random and for no reason. I think it's because people like left a popular person's live, and then like I just happened to be next. Um, there was like 70 people, 75 people up in there. They left rather quickly, but yeah. Your haircut sucks right now. It's a bob cut. Did you pick it, or was it not your choice to get that haircut? Hey, I'd rather a bob than what I had. I used to have like long extension braids. It wasn't your choice. Yeah, no, I'd rather a bob than what I had. My haircut, or not, I didn't even have a haircut. I had a hairstyle. My hairstyle was extremely girly. It was like extension braids, up in a ponytail, and I didn't have a choice either. It was rough. But you know what I used to do? I used to improvise. I used to just take a hat, usually like, um, I used to take like a beanie like this. Fuzzy. I used to take a beanie like this and just like stuff my braids into it and then put it over top so that you couldn't see that I had braids. I used to do so much back then. Have a good day, evening, and night. And remember, our God Jesus Christ loves you, sending love. Much love. Have a good night. That's smart. Yeah. If you're able to, try that. At least for now until you're able to like make your own decisions for your hair. Yeah, the weave. I never had a weave. I'm thankful I never had the weave, but I did have the extensions. Like, I was able to choose what type of hairstyle, but I wasn't able to choose, like, cutting my hair. That was not an option. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit scared to cut my hair for the first time because I didn't know what, like, my head shape was gonna be. So, it took me a while to, like, find the confidence to cut it. I go back to school tomorrow. I'm low-key excited. I love school. That's good. Sometimes I wish I was still in school. It's better than work. I think that started me wearing my iconic backwards baseball hat. Yeah, honestly, like people always used to ask me like, why do you always wear a hat? Why do you always wear a hat? And like even to this day, why do you always wear a hat? And it's because I think it's become a part of me because in the beginning of my transition, before I was out and before I was allowed to do certain things to appear more masculine, my hats were my way of at least feeling more masculine because like I said, I was able to hide my hair in my hat and naturally I had a relatively boyish face. So as long as you couldn't see my hair, I passed pretty well pre-T. So even now, passing with flying colors, it still holds something. It holds meaning to me to wear a hat because now I've like associated it with masculinity, even though it doesn't have to be like women wear hats and everything. But for me, it just has a certain type of feel to it, and that's why I keep wearing them. I'd be grounded forever. Dang. Oh, you can't wear hats in school? I mean, at least when you're not in school. I mean, I know that doesn't help in school, but um, I don't really know how to style hair, but is there a way you can like style the bob? Like put gel in it and like make it something different? I don't really know what type of bob we're talking here, but yeah, I forgot schools do that too. It's been a while since I've been in school. Any tips for someone who started tea around 6 months ago? What am I in for? Honestly, nothing crazy. Within the first 3 months for me, bottom growth was the biggest thing. And then from there, everything just happens so gradually and slowly. You don't really notice until you start like putting pictures side by side. But yeah, just enjoy the journey, to be honest. Your voice, honestly, 6 months in, you pretty much, I don't want to say you should have had certain things happen because everyone's body's different. But typically, in the first 6 months, the things that happen that are the most noticeable kind of happened, should have happened. I don't know how to say this without it making it seem like, well, if it didn't happen this way, then it's wrong, because there's no right or wrong timing for things. But typically, your voice will start changing within 6 months. The bottom growth will start growing within 6 months. Fat redistribution will start changing. So I would imagine that you've already kind of started to see some of like the big indicators that, like, oh wow, like I'm on testosterone. Gel is a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, if you could put some gel in your hair and try and style it a little differently so it doesn't feel so much like a bob, and to give you, because what it sounds like is happening is your parents are trying to control the way you look, which is not cool. Um, Even if using gel in your hair, I don't really know what you could do to style it, but like I feel like that could help give you your power back in looking how you want to look versus what your parents are trying to force you to look. I also don't want to give too much advice because don't tell me your age, but I'm assuming you're on the younger side, and I don't typically give advice to people under certain ages because I focus more on adults. I know it's going to be different for everyone, but what's the general process for getting tea prescribed? In other words, what are the main steps you have to take in order to start? The first thing you should do is go to your primary care doctor. Tell them, hey, I'm trans. Because it really all depends on what state you're in. Depending on what state you're in, kind of determines what the process is going to look like. So I always say go to your primary care and talk to them first and say, hey, I'm trans and I'm looking to start HRT. Where can I go? Typically, they will say, well, let me refer you to a therapist. You need to find a therapist that is like trans friendly, LGBTQ friendly, and specializes in that conversation. And then from there, they will you'll go through a couple sessions, talk it out with them. Hey, why do you want to start HRT? How did you feel growing up? Blah 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 blah. Did this happen as a kid? Did that happen as a kid? Blah 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 blah. And then when they feel you're ready, they will give you a recommendation letter, and that recommendation letter you will take to either an endocrinologist, where they specialize in gender affirming care things. You could go to, where else? The endocrinologist is where I went. You can also go to other doctors that specialize in LGBTQ. Um, and then, what's the last one? Dang, I forgot the other one. But yeah, the biggest one that I am most familiar with is the endocrinologist. Um, Hey, we're getting some haters. That means that the live is getting pushed out. Good. Um, any tips for working out as someone who cannot go to the gym? Buy yourself a pull-up bar. Super, super cheap. You can get pull-up bars for like $10 to $25. If you go on Facebook Marketplace, you could probably find it cheaper. That's what I use every single day, every morning, every night. It's really helped my upper body. Um, Also, push-ups are key. Um, there's honestly so much you can do at home and people don't realize it. And then obviously you can go even old school, look up YouTube videos and do that. Dun, 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 dun. Do I have a girlfriend? I got a fiance, bruh. 1 year since top surgery as a few weeks ago. Any scar gel cream Rex? I went old school. There are a lot of like um there are a lot of like creams and gels that like a lot of trans owned companies make, but I went more old school and I just used cocoa butter. Worked perfect. Um, I love your shares. You're really out here educating folks, myself included. I appreciate you. Thank you. First up for closeted people usually involve just trying more mask theme shirts. Some of these haters are diabolical. See, I'm a weird type of content creator. Once the haters start coming in, that's when I get the most excited because that means that my socials are getting pushed out. It means it's getting pushed out past the people that actually want to be here. I mean, they kind of want to be here too because they want to troll, but you know what I mean. I look forward to the haters coming in. The only reason I don't like them coming in is more for my audience's mental health. But for me, first of all, I'm 32 years old, or I'm gonna be 32 years old this summer. Second of all, I've been on social media talking about trans things for years. There isn't anything anyone hasn't said at this point. I'm still here. I still wake up every morning with a smile on my face. I will never see these people in my entire life. So, if anything, the only reason I don't like them on here is because I want to protect y'all's mental health because some of you guys might not be mentally numb to stupidity. But yeah, I prefer it just because it gets my numbers up. Haters pay, that's all I can say. Hey, that rhymed. Exactly, that's oh wait, no, it's not my birthday now. It's not my birthday yet. My birthday's not till August, but I'm just saying I'll be 32 this year. Especially Facebook. Facebook, I will say, has the most haters, but it's because it's a bunch of boomers. Um, no hate to all boomers. I know there's some nice ones out there, but overall, the older generation really does not care for the trans community because they just can't wrap their brains around it. And so Facebook, that's where I leverage the most because with all the hate comes a lot of engagement, and with a lot of engagement comes a successful page. So I'd be trolling the trolls. Since I'm non-binary, I would only be taking tea for a few months. You think I'll still have fat distribution stay? That I don't know. Because the thing is, whatever your body has dominantly, meaning me, my dominant hormone is estrogen. Without testosterone, my estrogen is spiking back up because my body doesn't naturally make a lot of testosterone. Obviously, it makes some because everybody produces both hormones, but depending on if you're male or female, it depends on which one will be dominant. So for me, someone who was born female, my dominant hormone will always be estrogen and ain't nothing gonna change it, especially because I haven't had a hysterectomy or any of the things. I still have a lot of estrogen producing anatomy. So if I were to stop taking testosterone, I've been on it for almost 10 years. So most of the things would be permanent, but some things would still revert back. For example, my cycle would probably come back because naturally I am female at birth. Therefore, the cycle would come back. It's not like it just disappears forever or indefinitely. So if you're only thinking about being on a hormone for a couple months, it's not, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's probably not promising that like your changes are gonna be permanent. That's not a long enough amount of time, if that's what you're saying. I usually laugh at hate comments usually because they are getting you more views. Exactly. And I hate to like brag about it in that way, but it just, I never understand it. Why troll when your trolling pays the people that you're trying to troll? Like, I can easily say if I didn't have as many haters as I do on social media, I wouldn't have platforms. Like, there's y'all. Y'all are great, but y'all aren't the reason I get paid. It's the haters that pay. But I'd rather it that way. I don't want y'all to pay me. I want the haters to have to. And if they're not paying me actual money, they're paying me in time. They're taking the time out of their day to troll, think they're offending me, but in reality, they just like took the whatever 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes out of their time to entertain me. And I'm honored by that. Jesus is king. Amen. How do you feel about animals that eat other animals? Do you like them or not because they eat animals? Thanks for your opinion. That's an interesting question. I don't think I've ever thought about it. I don't know. I can't tell if that's a trick question. Do you have a skincare routine or do you have naturally clear skin? I have a button on here that clears my skin. My skin is not that clear. There's a filter on, I think. Yeah, I'm not gonna cap. I have like a couple dark marks from old pimples, but like clear as in like having active pimples. I haven't had pimples in years, but I'm not gonna lie, there is some little filter on here that's blessing me a little bit. Belanda is watching? I don't even know what that means. Can you set goals and stuff on here like you can on TikTok? Who are my top fans? Kelly, appreciate you. Who else? Federal Ice. There's a bunch of them. What am I drinking? Lemonade. Lemonado. I'm a wee bit hungry. I gotta pick my girl up from work tonight, but kind of sucks. Like I might get some ice cream when I pick her up, even though I don't need it. You can send gifts and donations. I want to see. You can pin a live stream. What else can you do? Is it this? Start a poll, start a Q&A. Oh, so I don't think I do anything on my end. I think you guys would just do it. Oh, if you download Streamlabs, you can set donation goals through there. That will show up on your streams. Okay, I'll do that for next time. Everyone needs ice cream, not me. I gotta chill with the ice cream. I don't want to forget what you said about the Streamlabs, so I'm gonna look that up and just see. I mean, I'm not gonna do it on my computer, but at least have it up so I remember after the live. Right, 20 people already. That's a fact. I can't believe I didn't know that this was different than when I go live on my computer. Like, what the heck? Do you like Skittles? Not really. Who this, Ray J? Is her. Hi, what are we doing? Just sitting. A T-dude, you're trans? A T-dude, I am. You sound gay, my boy. Only for you, boo-boo. That's the best part about T compared to E. Nice. When did you transition? Almost 10 years ago. It's been a while. A while indeed. What's up, self-love warrior? Estrogen doesn't lower your voice much, does it? Am I tripping? Thank you. No, estrogen shouldn't lower your voice. You mean testosterone? There's some... Oh, estrogen doesn't raise your voice much. Not really. At least from what I be hearing. Like, I don't want to speak for trans women because I'm not a trans woman, but from what I hear, it doesn't really seem like it. But I can only imagine. You got to think a lot of trans women may have Adam's apples, and just naturally, like, the vocal cords, like, unless surgically changed, I don't know, I feel like it's hard for estrogen alone to, like, give them an extremely soft voice. But I have heard some trans women who have trained their voices to be a lot softer. But yeah, I'm not sure. But I can see how it could be more difficult compared to trans men for us, because we didn't have such a dominant Adam's apple prior to T. Testosterone helps the Adam's apple kind of like protrude out and thickens the vocal cords, and that's why our voice is able to deepen a little more than the opposite of how it would work for a trans woman. Because for a trans woman, you can't necessarily take away, whereas for trans men, you're adding. I hope that made sense. Testosterone will thicken your vocal cords and make your voice deep. Yeah, so pretty much what Kelly said. My voice isn't that deep at all. Like, I hear some trans guys and I'm like, that sounds extremely natural. For me, my voice is kind of awkward. I'm not even gonna lie, it's a little awkward, but I don't mind it. Still never get clocked though. If anything, people just might think I'm gay, and I'm totally fine with that too. Half the time I don't want to be recognized as, or I don't want to be seen as a cis straight man anyway. So if you think I'm gay, thank you. I'm okay with that. If I learn how to curl my hair, I can have my dream haircut. Well, I hope you learn. Yeah, no, my voice is deep, but it's not, I don't know, it's just a little awkward deep. But if you were to have heard my voice pre-T, you would be like, oh yeah, no, your voice definitely got deep. And the more comfortable I get with people, the higher it gets, because it's like I don't have to perform as much to, like, really make it deep. Like, for example, if I'm, like, outside with a group of 10 cis men at a construction site, I'm just using a very extreme hypothetical. Say I'm at a construction site with 10 straight cis men. I'm going to make my voice sound deep, extra deep. But if I'm with my fiance, or if I'm with a group of friends who knew me before and now, my voice tends to get more comfortable. So technically, if you ever hear me and my voice starts to get kind of high pitch, just know that I'm comfortable around you. I love to deepen my voice, especially when I sing. That's cool. I always thought it was cool, people who are singers who transition, because it's cool to see what their voice sounded like pre-T or pre-E and after. Because that takes skill to be able to still find your voice when your voice changes. My partner is also trans. That's awesome. I don't really count it, but I technically dated a trans woman like 14 years ago, but it was a long distance relationship. Like, she lived all the way in Arizona and we would video chat. That's about it. But yeah. Do you watch Ez Butler? I don't. I do not. Oh, my nose. Sus as fuck. It's so funny. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but the trolls that were in here before, notice how quickly they left when I didn't entertain them the way that they wanted to be entertained. Like, once they realize, like, oh, no, he don't really care. He doesn't get offended enough. They leave. No goodbye or nothing. Hello. Have a good night. I'm about to get off of here too because it's almost 8 o'clock. I'm happy you guys put me on to the shorts, the live. I'm gonna start going on here more instead of on my computer. And plus, then I can take you out and about in public and stuff. Yeah, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, these streams will get big if you do it an hour at a time. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna do it. I mean, today I only did it for half an hour because I did half and half, but I will do these more often. And with this, I can go. I'm gonna try and do it. I don't know. I want to set a goal for myself to try and go live. How often should I do it? An hour a day? An hour every other day? The only thing is, if I do it an hour a day, well, you'd probably want it to be like same time every day. YouTube wants an hour-long streams with consistent viewers that stay in for long periods. Okay. Do you get paid on lives? Like, are lives kind of like the same when you post like long-form videos? Like, even if you streamed like 3 times a week, that would be amazing. Yeah, I'll have to try that. Should I do it the same time? Same day? Same time every day? So like 7 to 8 o'clock or... The only thing is I want to do it like during the day too, because sometimes I'll be outside or I want to switch up the scene. I don't want to just be in my room. Whatever time works best for you. My YouTube notifications are broken right now, so I check constantly for new updates. I'm gonna ask like ChatGPT some questions and like see, because I do want to go more often, so... Do you play guitar? Nope. And yeah, I'll leave it on my community page. I'll let y'all know like at least 2 or 3 hours before I go live so that you can be prepared. But all right, I'm gonna get off here. I appreciate you for all the help on like getting this live thing figured out. I'm gonna hold myself to it. It's a new year. I'm going live at least 3 times a week for 1 hour. I'm doing that. It's the least I can do for y'all. Hope you have a good night. Yeah, that would literally be perfect. All right, bet. Thank you, Kyle, for being so strong. Of course. Much love, much love. I'll answer this last question. Hi, I love your videos. I have a question for you. What effects would it have if I took estrogen gummies? I didn't even know estrogen gummies or testosterone gummies were a thing. I genuinely don't know. Random, should I drop more music? Yes, you should. But yeah, I did not know that about testosterone gummies. If I were you, I would just ask your primary care doctor. They'd probably know more, because I'm not a doctor. All right, love y'all. I don't know how to log out of here. Oh, wait, up here.